Yeah, I mean, really just simple people who kind of I can understand, I can relate to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be through interests or passions, but just how we get along in general. Oh, pretty basic. Always been there, and they've been very supportive for every one of us. Obviously, there's ups and downs, like in any relationship with people, but yeah, pretty normal. Not much to say there. Just a really close family. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Creekcast has grown to be to hold a very special place in my heart. Like it's like a passion project, and it didn't necessarily start off like that, like at all. I mean, it's.
Welcome back, people, once again to the very second episode of our second season, Firewall. This episode, as we told you last time, is going to be an in-depth look into, well, your guests. And the first episode was about me, so this time around we're going to talk to Maza about yourself. You know the drill. You did the first one, so
yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird to inverse the roles, but yeah, I guess a little bit. Just a brief overview. You know me, listener. Basically, just chill person. Very kind of indoorsy, not very social, but I also like to go out and have experiences that are more meaningful than like, I don't know, socialization with people.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I had a debate in there, but that's for another time.
All right.
So yeah, that's basically our introduction. We won't forget our ad break. This is a joke for the future.
You'll get it.
You'll get it. So we're doing our ad break right now, so we don't have to interrupt the rest of the podcast. And see you in like 5 seconds? I don't know. See you there.
A period of time.
Welcome back, people, once again from that beautiful ad break. Hope we can make some paper. And if you know what we use, what we're supposed to use the money for, it's for charity and donations. So chill, we're not making profit out of this, even if we wanted to.
Even if we were lying to you, we still wouldn't make money.
Yeah, so that's a good way to start off. So back to the topic at hand. You, Maza. We have to get to know you, because these people basically don't know who we are. Maybe they know one person or the other, but not the two of us. So let's get a clearer perspective of where you come from. First off, tell us about your passions and hobbies and what you like to do.
All right. So I guess the basic one is probably football or soccer, however you want to call it. Probably my biggest passion. Watching it, playing it. That's really that's also what I want to study. So if you don't notice by that is definitely my biggest hobby. And yeah, I mean, I guess other things, video games every once in a while. I like sometimes a geeky side of me comes out, and it's like comics and DC.
We've seen that side, definitely.
Yeah,
I think it was on the very last episode of last season that we saw that side,
where we just talked about that.
Yeah, pretty fun episode. Yeah, all around, I think there are nothing too unusual. I think it's pretty obvious if you see our YouTube that Maza very much likes football, because I've never seen him without some kind of football merch.
That is very true.
And yeah, well, I think this relates to, well, how the podcast was created and stuff, because we have some links there with our passions, and I think that's how the podcast came to be. We also need to bring up that episode, but that's a late announcement.
Yeah, definitely.
But
yeah, I mean, I think also, like, kind of talking about that a bit, you know, the people I've usually hung out with are never really the football type, because
that actually was the next question. Just in general about your friends, who are they? Don't name drop them.
Yeah.
But just like, how do they behave, and what type of people do you like to hang out with?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main thing is not hanging out with assholes, I would probably say. That's probably my main standard in that sense. And I guess the people I most hang around with, I mean, if you could tell by Huerta, which is probably one of the people that I most interact with, it's very similar to that type of person, and, you know, more introverted in a sense. You know, I mean, Huerta does have a massive ego, but people...
wow, thanks.
Just kidding.
And I'm super humble as well.
Yeah, obviously. The most humble.
The mostest of humblest.
The mostest of all. Yeah, I mean, really just simple people who kind of I can understand, I can relate to, and it doesn't necessarily have to be through interests or passions, but just how we get along in general.
Okay, that's different from how the grand majority of people act usually. They usually go towards people who share the same hobbies in some way, at least. But yeah, every time I see you hang out with people, it's never ever the football types. Like, never ever.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, no hate, but you know, once you kind of get
know the type,
know the people, it's not somewhere you really want to be.
Yeah, I mean, football, am I right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know football. It's kind of weird.
If you heard from the first episode, Huerta's a big sports fan.
Oh yeah, football's crazy. So yeah, basically, once again, just to get to know you, one of the most prominent features in a person's life that ends up changing how they behave is not only how they are born, but where they are born. So tell us about where you grew up, because as I understand it, you weren't from here, Mexico City. If anyone doesn't know yet, for some reason, Mexico, because we had a guest that
we did have that one episode where we just didn't say it.
Go on.
So I was born in Mexico City, but my growing up wasn't so focused here. At 3 years old, my whole family, we got the opportunity, very lucky, to move to South Africa. And that was for 5 years, which was obviously at that age. I mean, it's not like I could really be like, oh my God, the cultural differences and appreciation for this. But it definitely was a different environment, obviously very privileged, and a lot of international people, as well as kind of really getting to, I don't know, kind of not necessarily live in that bubble that a lot of people might not really get the chance to experiment out of. And that also lent on as we moved later on to Atlanta, Georgia. And we lived there for 4 years. And that was, again, you know, kind of experiencing different people and a different place as well. And that didn't really allow me to stay in a box. And I think that in a way also kind of changed my perception of, I would say, friendships more than anything, because uh, yeah, it's kind of just my perception on it is it comes and goes. Like, people aren't forever, and especially through these periods of time where you're subject to change and not being in the same box, unless you decide to stay there, of course, or you don't have the opportunity to leave. But yeah, that's really the main overview.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a way to escape the
Yeah,
bubble. It's just not like moving countries or stuff. Like
yeah.
just trying different interests and that kind of jazz. Like for
Mhm.
example, like with your football, if you didn't step out of your comfort zone, you
Yeah,
would definitely not met the whole bunch at
yeah. That
school
that is
because
true.
we do zero football, zero, zero literally.
Zero.
Yeah, it's just not a big fan. But hey, I mean, at least we got that out of the way. Uh, Now, as you might have guessed,
Mhm.
this was coming. But just tell us about your family in general, a general outline of who they
Okay.
are.
Yeah. So basically, three brothers, which were very important. I mean, well, if you don't know, I was, as my parents call it, a miracle of God, but more like an accident. So
I
I
actually
came,
didn't know that. I did not know that, but it's fun.
I came 10 years later from the brother closest to me, and between them, they're 2 years. So it's 10, 12, and 14 years older than me. And yeah, my parents, very important as well. I guess if I could kind of describe a little bit of their importance, my three brothers, they were really big, as the fact that they're so much older than me. They offer like experience and like they kind of lived through the things that then showed me, like, oh, I don't really have curiosity to do this or live through this. So I guess it was kind of a really close relationship with all of them, but it was also a lot of learning from their stupidity in the past. So, so it was also kind of a learning opportunity for them to have that many experiences ahead of me. And my parents, kind of basic. Their it was always very, very loving, and no real trauma there,
Okay,
honestly.
I
If
hope.
you,
I
yeah,
hope.
yeah, if you want any juice from that, listener, you're not getting it.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of worried you were going to drop a bombshell on here. But hey,
Yeah,
if you
no.
want to fabricate a story
There
to
you
get all
go.
those views, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, pretty basic. Always been there, and they've been very supportive for every one of us. Obviously, there's ups and downs, like in any relationship with people, but yeah, pretty normal. Not much to say there. Just a really close family.
Okay, so there's also, well, what can you learn more from a person that asking about their future?
Mm,
So I'm not still going to the big three because we have like what 30 minutes to go.
yeah.
But just in general, what do you want to do with your life? Like after high school, after
Yeah.
well, let's leave it at high school because
Yeah. Yeah.
going forward is not that realistic to anticipate. So after high school, what do you want to do? Or don't tell me what you envision yourself doing.
Mm,
Tell me what you want to be doing.
mm. Yeah. So, I mean, I am, like, contrary to what we talked about in your episode, that you don't really plan that much. I do really plan of things that I want to do in the future. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of inevitable. It just happens. So I guess, kind of looking at it short term, obviously finishing high school, I would go straight into college, studying sports management. And yeah, the goal there is really to kind of set up a base to start having a chance to getting into the sports industry and working for a club or an academy or any sport institution. And then the plan would be a master's, which would be more focused to football. And yeah, I mean, from there, there's things that I would love to do in like starting my own football academy and stuff. But obviously, that's very far ahead. So yeah, I mean, it's really just studying and whatever comes with it.
Studying, yeah. I mean, it's just that I had this topic recently. Like I've talked with my family in general. Like the topic came up, and people tend to don't fully realize how long university takes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, then I finish high school, then I university, and then I'm practically a full-on adult the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's like 5 years.
Yeah,
of
it's
university.
It's a
That's
whole
a
ride.
lot of time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I tend not to plan too far ahead because if I know what's happening, I mean, Corona happened.
Yeah, you don't know what's coming your way at the end of the day, and I guess what life throws at you is going to change that. But for now, that is the plan. Obviously, things change and circumstances change. There might not even be a world to live in by that point. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed that it does, because
I
mean, I know I'm the pessimistic one of the group, but come on, I still live here.
Yeah.
So next up, before we go into a little personalized list that I did, tell us about your values. Just in general, the top 3 things that you value more in a human being.
I guess. Values.
It's a tough one.
That is a tough one. Values in a person. Do I even have those?
I hope. I truly do hope so. I mean, what drives your moral compass in general?
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the main things is probably openness and being open to different mindsets, different points of view, open-mindedness in general, just not being a closed, fixed person. Obviously, I think everybody falls into the trap once in their life, at least, where, you tend to close into what you think but at the end of the day, you're not the center of the earth and the universe, and you're just not going to be knowing everything. So you have to be open to different points of view and different kind of opinions as well as just experience and kind of doing different things that you normally wouldn't do. And yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the main ones, which is just being open-minded. What else? I would say honesty, but I'm not that honest.
I mean, we're kind of... Okay, let's not do news then. We're going to get CNN, the Fox News. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing about honesty is depends how you, classify it. I don't see white lies, as they call them, as something bad.
That was actually coming up in the list.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, you can't see the list. What the fuck? So yeah, that was basically the question.
Yeah.
Do you think telling a lie in order to protect someone is better than telling the truth, or truth all the same 24/7?
I think it depends. Depends on the person, depends on the situation, but I think some things might be best to never reach that person, especially if you know that, kind of linking it with my past comment of being open-minded, that they won't accept something. So, there's some people that will just never really be able to accept certain information. And if you say it, then it'll probably end up being worse than if you don't say it.
Okay, so
yeah.
So maybe telling lies sometimes is good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with lies, honestly. Like,
I kind of do. Maybe we'll do a third episode of this, of just comparing and debating and stuff.
Yeah, I think it depends on the lies, but
well, yeah, definitely. If I'm going to lie to you about, I don't know, your dog being hit by a truck.
Yeah, that you can't lie that,
or should I? So you don't get that information. So it's a debate for another day.
Yeah.
So moving on. Mm-hmm. I think there's a burning question in everyone's minds, and if not, I don't know really. But we have a pretty mixed political compass going on in here, especially from topic to topic.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get that out of the way right now. Mm-hmm. If you had to, where do you see yourself in the political compass? Not to make it too complicated for people who aren't very well versed in the political compass in general, just say left or right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would probably consider myself a neo-Nazi.
I'm going to clip that.
That's for the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, everybody would probably say that they're more centered, but I think naturally I am more towards the left.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I just don't really know where I stand on a position. Like, genuinely, it's not that I'm just trying to avoid it, but sometimes I really don't know how to feel about it. Because it's like...
What's an example?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. If it's like a big one, like...
I don't know. Let me think a bit. I guess an example could be something like dwelling in like DNA and modifying it.
Oh, okay. All right. I think.
Yeah, and I know that's directed to you.
Yeah, you came pretty clean with that example, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes I don't know kind of what the thin line is between either morality or logic or science or like I don't know. Sometimes I'm like I don't know what to think about this, which is why also the podcast helps. It helps kind of broaden certain views and you get in people who know more about subjects. So yeah. That's what I would say. I'm more towards the left, definitely.
Okay, just to get that out of the way, because sometimes we get called far right and then neoliberals. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned that on my episode because we filmed that a long time ago, like 2 months.
Yeah, like a week ago.
Oh yeah, no, we do this in order. So
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think definitely the podcast it's more left leaning.
Yeah, I think you can tell like the tendency is towards it. Except for when we brought a Trump supporter on.
I mean, I think it's no secret that we
it really isn't
left leaning. But yeah, we try to broaden our views with our guests. That's something we try to do more. Because usually we get a female activist, and that's basically 90% of our whole category.
Yeah, I think
so. We really need to broaden up that to more extremist. Like I said on my episode, I want actual neo-Nazi on this episode just to speak his mind and see what
just
happens.
To see what he thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of I think. The tendencies of our podcast are definitely more left-handed, but it's not like, oh man, I'm gonna get hate for this, but it isn't extreme left. Like I think sometimes there is that thin line of if you're not like fully to the left committed to every single opinion,
yeah, then
you're against everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we see that with also, like, no matter what spectrum of the political compass you are,
Yeah.
If there's people who think that if you don't go to the extreme, then you aren't part of the movement. That's
Yeah.
kind of cringe, okay? If you aren't, if you're a liberal and aren't a communist, then you're not true liberal. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, in general, I don't think we go too big on politics. We are more
No,
centered
yeah.
towards environmental issues more than
Yeah.
political ones. We delve onto those once in a while, like once in a blue moon.
Yeah, but we don't really go in depth.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe. Let us know in the comments if you're watching.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely getting cancelled. I don't know what I could even say to get. Well, I know what I could say to get myself.
You definitely know.
Definitely know, but our viewers don't, so they may interpret it as they want to.
Yeah,
so,
true.
So in general, we already got your values and just a general outlook of what do you think of yourself. So I wanted to move on to what do you think this podcast is about? Because the Creekcast is not a firm brand that does exactly this. As we all know, well, we'll make a Creekcast episode about the Creekcast. But it had very humble beginnings. Nothing like this at all.
No.
At all. So it's always changes and modifies. So what do you think the Creekcast is all about?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Creekcast has grown to be to hold a very special place in my heart. Like it's like a passion project, and it didn't necessarily start off like that, like at all. I mean, it started off as a joke, and then it started off as a school assignment. And it grows on you. And I guess what it is I don't know what, like, I don't think we can really define it yet. I like to say that we are a student-led, activist-based, non-lucrative podcast.
But that's what we tell sponsors
exactly. Exactly.
And guests. So
I guess it's more kind of a journey of knowledge in a way, because we're gonna like see more. Well, you're gonna see throughout this season that there is more variety in the guests, and
definitely, from one season to another. And we're not just saying that, like, we're not assuming we're from
we've recorded them.
I mean, well, technically we're from the past, but we're in the past future. Okay, we know what we're talking about. We know our guests. They're already lined up. We already did the episodes. Pretty great stuff. So
and I think it's something that will keep kind of getting better. I've noticed, as like I look at the episodes from season 1 and the ones that we have totally not recorded yet, wink, in season 2, like you can tell the big gap between us in the beginning and us now. And I think we've both grown certain abilities throughout this, and I think it's just going to keep happening, honestly. And I like to think big a lot of the time and plan ahead. I've had like messages to him where I'm just like, dude, we could like do all these things and it would be amazing. He's just like, lol,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
So I mean, I think there's big ambition from how I see it, and I think it can really go a long way. I think.
I mean, it already has gone a long way, but there's definitely a long road ahead. That I'm actually excited to follow. Because this can be so much more than just a podcast.
100%. Obviously, we're not going to give away all the details, but but I think
we have no details. We have no idea.
But I do think that the Creekcast can become more of a how could I call it? I guess
brand.
A
logo.
A socially creative kind of brand.
Okay, I like yours.
A logo. I think it could branch out to many different things, and yeah, basically, this is just the beginning, listener.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're on season 2, but there's like a long road ahead of that. We're like aiming for season 42 or something.
Until we die, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this will keep up until we don't feel like it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, and I think what I would also like looking towards that, if one day we are just tired, the ability for this kind of brand, I guess, to allow us to jump to something different inside of it, or let somebody else take care of this branch of it,
Oh, I mean, passing the torch?
Yeah,
wow,
you never know. You never know.
Long term there. I mean, whoever wants to take on this mantle, you're going to have to work for it hard.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
It ain't easy being a Quick member. A cricket. Yeah, I kind of forgot. So yeah, I mean, the whole brand has a lot of flexibility. Since we've seen, just not to spoil our in-depth episode of how the thing entirely was created. I don't want to call it a podcast anymore because I think we made it pretty clear that it's more than that.
Yeah.
But how the Quickcasts were born, we started as basically a joke. Not even a joke about a podcast. It was
about a band.
No, that wasn't even it.
That wasn't even it.
Yeah, we started just making dumb sounds.
And if you think it was a good joke, you're wrong.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't even funny at the time.
Yeah.
It was funny how unfunny it was.
Exactly, basically.
And then it evolved into us. Well, I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, we'll go into detail later.
Because I am actually kind of dying to spread the word because we have some hidden material there that we haven't released into the world. It's gonna be cringy as hell.
Yeah, but let's hope that gets us trending or something.
I don't know, maybe. Like, can you imagine just people, someone famous speaking up and what the fuck are these guys doing?
What the hell?
Yeah, it would be fun. So, now that we have a pretty clear idea of who you are and what do you think about this podcast, I think it's a pretty good time to go into the big 3.
Oof.
I mean, you've seen this coming, so I'm expecting you to have perfect answers.
Of course,
no stuttering. Okay.
Yep. Of course.
So, as you all know, the big 3 are the biggest 3 questions that we are our guests at the very end of a podcast. If you didn't knew that, then now we know who you are.
That you don't listen.
Yeah,
to
you
our
have
podcast.
to. Come on.
I would say start from episode 1, but actually no.
Oh, that's a bad one. We have to edit that.
Unless you want to see the whole journey,
I mean,
if you want to see,
maybe we
the
can
growth.
make it. Maybe we can rebrand and make this season 1 and the other one is the Legacy edition.
Season 0.
Yeah, season 0 Legacy. So yeah, I mean, biggest inspirations, go.
Biggest inspiration, I think I can't really pinpoint it on one person, but as we do like on this podcast, it's close. My brothers are probably, in a sense, the biggest inspiration together, as they represent a whole lot, not only kind of what I am today, because what they did in my growing up helped shape me more than I could ever imagine, honestly. And the way they they kind of are as brothers, and the way they seek life out in a way. I think it's something that allows me to not only see different paths that I could take, but it is kind of inspiring, even though they don't listen. No, I'm just kidding. And yeah, I mean, I think just in general, my family, also my parents are huge. My dad is a massive inspiration due to his work ethic and the person that he is, not only kind of as separated from family, but as a father, it's somebody that, can never be forgotten. So yeah, I guess to pinpoint it in one word, it's family.
Okay, wow. I think that's the first one of its kind that we had on this podcast. We usually say like a person or a celebrity or both.
Yeah,
both. We had one that was both. So yeah, I mean a concept in general, just family. That's a pretty nice answer. That's what we expect from a cricket.
Those are the standards.
Well, let's put them a little higher. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty noble thing to say. I think people need to learn about who they are close with. People tend to praise celebrities way too much and idolize them.
You're gonna hear that from him a lot in this season.
Do I? I mean,
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, like I think subconsciously you just hate people that like look up to celebrities.
In general, I do, but it's not subconscious. It's not subconscious.
It's just conscious.
Yeah, it's a conscious effort to hate them. That's a whole nother episode. But I can give you a brief overview on my thoughts on your episode because I'm taking over. I don't know. I always dislike the whole.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with YouTube and Twitch being so prominent now. Like people feel like they are best friends with their favorite celebrities. Yeah. And that's never the case. Like they don't even know you. Like the whole stan thing, I hate it with a burning passion.
Yeah, I think I do agree to a sense. I'm not
saying,
as hateful.
I'm not saying that if you admire a celebrity, you're a bad person at all. It's completely okay. I do admire some of them.
Yeah.
It's just like get your straight.
Maybe not the biggest inspiration in your life.
I mean, you're not friends. You will never be friends. They don't know you. It's just it's a fact.
Yeah,
you never know each other. You'll never be friends. And the Queen of England isn't real. Okay? Just straight up facts.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I just had to get that out of my system.
Yeah.
We'll get that in another episode. We can talk about it.
We have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, and we've recorded, I want to say, most of season 2 so far.
Yeah, most. A solid amount.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, you'll see.
You'll see.
So, moving on to the second question of the big 3. Mm-hmm. I think we already touched on this when I asked for a brief overview. Mm-hmm. But just in case our viewers forgot or something. 3 solid goals for the future.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like immediate future or like when you're 40, just goals in general.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it, very straightforward. 3 solid goals. No specific order, but number 1, complete sports management as an undergraduate. Number 2, get the Creekcast to be a brand that stands on its own 2 feet.
Okay, I should have said that on mine. Now it sounds like I don't put my weight around here.
And number 3, I guess I would have to say, shit. Probably experience as many things with the people I love.
Okay. It's pretty good goals all around. I think. I mean, not to be specific, because it would be kind of weird if someone else had the exact same goals as you.
Yeah.
But I think it's a general good outline for people to see. Like, if you have no idea what you want to do, like if you don't have your 3 main goals for the future, I think that's a pretty good outline to start off with. I think I really like the one with experiencing as many things as possible with the people you love. I think that's right on the head of the nail.
Head, boom.
That's what you should do in general as a human being, no matter where you're from, who you are, how old, how young. Just that's a good baseline to do.
Yeah, I know I've said it.
Strive to.
I know I've said like having experiences a lot during this episode, but
that's a main takeaway.
Yeah, that's what sticks with you at the end of the day. And
I had a pretty, I don't want to say negative, but darker takeaway from mine. Like, I believe I said, take care of yourself because no one else will do it for you. And I won't put words in your mouth. We'll get to it when we get to it. But our final big 3, and then our overview. What mark do you want to leave in this world?
Damn.
You have so many months to think.
I did have a lot of months, but this adds dramatic effect.
I forget.
I think the mark that I want to leave on this world is probably one of experiences. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
I think more than anything is leaving kind of a stepping stone for people who might not get it in life. So offering people help and kind of positivity in a way that helps them move forward in life. Whether it be any type of project or just interactions with people, just kind of paying it forward, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I think that's quite a movie, I guess. I just remind me of that movie. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's a really good message.
Yeah.
Just try to keep the ball rolling, link the flame.
Yeah, I guess.
This world doesn't help the world that we live in, so
why not try?
Keep the ball rolling. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, might as well, as I said in the future, dear listener, it's a fight worth fighting for. I don't want to say lose for because that sounds way too pessimistic. But yeah, a pretty noble goal all around. So, what would you say is the main takeaway from this episode?
I think
apart from family, because
I guess it. I guess it does kind of link up in a way, but the people you love, and kind of the impact that you want to leave on those people more than anything. There's going to be a lot of superficial people in your life. There's going to be many people that you meet, but the close interactions, the ones that you really feel in your gut, that those are the people. The way you live with them and you either mutually leave a mark on each other. I guess that's really the main thing to take away. Kind of reflect on that. I know it's hard. It isn't easy to always be like thinking about that stuff, and sometimes you'll get caught up on your own stuff, and it's okay. But I think that having those relationships and those core people is what will not only elevate them, but also elevate you.
Okay. Well,
so family.
You can you can you can put that in a wall somewhere, like that inspiration. Like cut it down a bit, and make
right
it
here.
Oh, we could do that actually. Like make it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think that was a pretty good episode all around.
Pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah, now you know who you're listening to.
There you go.
Your beautiful hosts will be here forever until we
Yeah.
pass the torch, I guess.
Or die, either way.
Or die. Yeah, well, that's hopefully a long way from now. So
If not, though, I mean, that would boost the views up.
it would. Maybe I would, I don't know, replace you with, I don't know, maybe a cardboard cutout, and I think But yeah, I think that's been a pretty great episode all around. Good takeaways, good takes. We haven't got cancelled so far.
That is true.
So I think we're doing pretty good.
I mean, we also have been on a 3-month break by this point.
Fair. I mean, it's not technically a 3-month break because we've been working those whole
That
3
is
months.
true. That is true. But you know, those people don't know. You listener, you
They
don't
know we discussed this at the last.
This is true.
So yeah, listeners, thanks for listener, I guess, for
or viewer.
or viewer. Thanks for sticking by. If you have,
Yep.
if I'm talking alone, fuck you. And thanks for listening and sticking
Yeah.
around.
Check out our Twitter, our YouTube,
Twitter,
our Instagram,
Instagram.
at the Creekcast. You know.
Hell yeah. And I guess we will see you on the next episode.
Yeah. Tune in.
More energy. Yeah, gang.
Yeah,
sign.
yeah.
Well, see you later.
Creek you later.
Creek you later.